Hi guys, I'm back up here with another daily motivational message for the collective. Remember, all messages are not for all, they're for some. Take what you need to leave the rest. As well as we got that slot open for personal readings. If you feel guided or interested in purchasing one of those, you know what to do. DM me, we can get you set up, come fuck with your girl, okay? As well as drop a comment down below. Love to hear from you guys and start the discussion. As well as let's go and share these vids, man. Let's get this divine knowledge out here for the collective so we all can get on one accord, okay? So I got one card for the overall message from the Motivation Manifesto and 3 cards from the Success cards, I think these are called. Damn, these are upside down. Give me a second. Tell upside down. But anyways, yeah. From these Success cards, the orange ones here. That are to clarify, okay? All right, let's go and get it popping, okay? So with this overall message, it has to do with love is always the final and most complete cure to our inner demons. I repeat, love is always the final and most complete cure to our inner demons, okay? When we talk about that word love, L-O-V-E, right? Let's go on and take the concept of what the world says that is, right? The whole being with somebody, doing this, that, and the third, and ... woo, right? Let's go on and break this energy down and really break down the concept of love. Love, right, is the highest form of emotion, right? The highest form known to man, right? So the highest form known to man is God, right? So when you talk about love, you're really talking about God, right? The highest form of energy on this planet. So that being said, that's why the concept it's all fair in love and war is a real thing, right? So that being said, as you're going through your journey, right, especially dealing with your vices, right, you have to understand when you place love on top of them, it comes from a space of accountability, responsibility, and acceptance of your situation, right? You're going to have to love yourself enough to be like, yo, I'm fucking up, right? I'm allowing myself to drown in the shit that I know damn well that is not good for me. You know what this type of energy is? Think about, like, let's say, think about high school, right? The shit that you do in high school and things like that. I think there was a fucking movie, put a pin in that had Pete Davidson in it. And he, off the guy of Saturday Night Live, right? Yeah, Pete Davidson in it, and he was regressing, right? He was chilling with this fucking high schooler that had things going for him and this, that, and the third. And Pete was like out of high school, fucking living through his high school years and this, that, and the third, right? Have you seen motherfuckers like that, you know, still living in high school, reminiscing about the shit they did in high school, and they no longer in that was a thing of the past, right? So this is that type of energy here at these moments of time. If you've ever watched that movie, I forgot what it was called. He was just wasting his life away from a space of fearing to step out of into the unknown, to really see oneself actually prosper. And really, because you got to understand, like within that movie, if you just took the time to put effort in, if he took the time to put effort in to making the best him he could be, he could have changed his life. But the thing is, he was so looped within his vices and within his inner demons, right? Where he was not willing to, quote unquote, put that love on top of that. So that being said, you're going to have to love yourself enough to be like, I cannot do this no more, right? That's a whole different love, right? To love yourself enough to pull you away from your, I guess, what's the best word I can say? Is it savage? I don't know. I'm gonna put that there, but I don't feel like that's a word. Savage, uncontrolled, impulsive, lack of self-control, ways to change your life. You have to understand. Do you understand, like, with David Goggins, right? I always talk about him. The man who went to, what did he go to? The Marines, and he was like 300 pounds. That guy, right? He put himself through so much pain, right? So much pain, physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain, to prove to oneself that you are in control of the mind, you're in control of the body. So that being said, you are in control of your flesh. Your flesh does not control you. So that being said, lack of self-control is what's keeping you in this belly of the beast type of energy here with the listen to reality, right? And this has to do with your vices here, right? With this type of energy. That's why it says love is always the final and most complete cure to our inner demons. You're going to have to love yourself enough to pull your ass out, pull yourself by your bootstraps and be like, I ain't doing this no more. Okay? I ain't doing this no more. Right? This is that type of energy in these moments in time here. You're going to have to hit that point of being sick and tired. Of being sick and tired in your life to be able to make anything change. Because it's complete sanity to wish for change and not do nothing about it. Right? So that's that type of energy. But yeah, like relating back to Pete in the movie. At the end of the movie, because this movie was really based on this young kid that was in high school, and he was just he thought Pete was so fucking awesome, so cool, where it was like, dude, I just want to be like him, and this, that, and the third. So he started to do all this stuff. For Pete to be, I guess, connected to that high school life, he was selling Zans, right, to high schoolers and shit like that in the movie, right? So, like, to still have that, you know what I'm saying, where he had that kid, right, the young high schooler, selling them to his friends, right? But there was a moment in his life, right, where he got caught and, like, a whole shit show. He got suspended. Cops got involved. Parents got involved. It got bad, right? Where he had to make a decision. Like, am I going to go the route of this guy who's still living in his past because of the fear of moving forward in his own future, right? Or am I going to let this go and continue to move forward, right? So with that type of energy, it took that reality check for that young boy to see and really see Pete for who he was, and looking at Pete in a way like that is just your reflection showing back at you, right? So this kid seeing the reflection of where his life could go, right? And that peace, right? That inner demon, that inner shit, your shadow shit, your vices, right? Where you can land yourself at. Because God gives you mirrors. You're never ever out here with no awareness, no clueness, no goddamn indicators or nothing. God has fucking mirrors. God's always got shit mirroring at you. So you're always looking at yourself. God will never let you not look at yourself, right? Regardless if you comprehend that's what you see, or you accept that that's what you see. But at the end of the day, that's what the fuck is in front of you, despite if you accept it or not. right? In anything in your fucking life. It's a fucking mirror, right? Where he came into reality and realized, bro, I'm fucking tripping. I love myself enough where he decided to walk away. Not fuck with Pete no more. I think it was like, he was gone for 3 months. Like for the summer. Because it was towards the end, right? Bear with the kid. It matches his reading, right? And then he ended up seeing Pete again, right? And it's so funny with the irony of this particular scene within this movie, because it's related to life and how God can put you in situations to make sure you're really ready to go forward with your life, right? Where when he met met Pete again, Pete's working at a Burger King, still talking about high school, not changing, nothing changed. Pete's still Pete, right? Where Pete asked him, hey man, we should hang out, we should play games, we should do this, we should do this. Where the kid had to be like, it was cool chilling with you at the time, but I'm going to college, right? With this type of energy, I'm going to college next fall, you know? So, and within that scene, to end that scene, you just see Pete in his rear view, right? So he I guess got picked up by his dad, and all you see in the rear view mirror is Pete sitting there with his fucking Burger King hat and his fucking uniform on, right? And he sits on the curb, right, of the street or whatever, and then he goes off into sunset, right? Right? Even with that concept of that scene, it just shows where leaving your past behind, you're gonna have to leave that shit in the rear view. Where that moment that he looked into the rear view, he realized that was of the past. So now we ain't looking in the rear view no more, right? This is that type of energy we're moving forward in our life, right? Because we took responsibility of the shadow. Instead of running from ourselves, we decided to take responsibility. We decided to accept what's going on. We decided to acknowledge what we see in front of us, because the moment that you don't acknowledge anything in your shit and you continue to have the lack of, I guess, responsibility and claiming your shit, right? Because your shit, right, is your shit. So that being said, when your shit stinks, you have to clean it up, right? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, man, this is a weird example, right? Right? It's like, bro, it's kind of like a person going over someone's house, right? And this is a weird example, but it's coming up just like this. Coming to somebody's house, takes a shit, and does not do a courtesy flush, right? It's that type of energy with this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that, right? And it's like, yo, like, you know, the common code here, right? So it's like, in these moments of time when it comes to your shit, your vices, your things that, your internal conflict that you have to deal with, if you don't deal with it long enough, your vices will swallow you whole, just like this, where you can't recognize yourself no more. You know what I'm saying? Where you cannot recognize yourself no more. This is kind of like, if you want to if we want to hook this up and line things up, this is kind of like motherfuckers in the industry. Think about the music industry. We're talking about motherfuckers with 360 deals, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Drake, all these different motherfuckers, you know, in these industries that are signed up with these different fucking deals and things of that nature. As they go forward, they allow themselves to get tweaked away to a point right? Where they can't recognize themselves no more, right? Where now they're this complete different person, this alter ego. We're not here to talk about that life. We'll leave that for other channels, right? But it's an example here, right? Where that same scenario, that same cycle that happens with celebrities, right, can happen with you, with your personal vices, with your personal demons, your internal conflict, your internal woes, your internal wounds that you leave unhealed. This is kind of like, let's say, okay, you got a toothache, right? You have a toothache. You want to say a toothache? I don't know. How can I say this? Yeah, this is the best example I can give. You got a toothache, man. It's a toothache, and you don't know what it is, and you don't get it checked out. Okay, so the moment that you don't get it checked out, it gets an infection, right? Now you got it went from a minor toothache to a fucking infection now, where now you're forced to go see the fucking dentist. And it's like, bro, like, we could have prevented this shit. Now your whole shit's fucked up and swollen and shit, where if you dealt with your shit, you wouldn't have even got here, right? It's that type of energy in these moments in time here, where you see it in the world. You see it in the world a lot. You know what I'm saying? You see it in the world a lot, where a lot of people do not accept they don't accept their shit. This is kind of like a motherfucker that got the cavity, don't do shit about it, and they teeth rot out. You know what I'm saying? This is that type of energy in these moments in time, right? Yeah, living dangerously. I can't make this shit up. Y'all, I'm telling you, this is like Pete. You know what I'm saying? Pete refusing to not want to see his future, refusing to move in his future, refusing to move in his direction where God needs him to move in. Instead, he want to live in the past. Instead, he wants to stay where it's comfortable. And instead, he wants to stay where he can predict where he's at, where he knows where every single move. Because when you're moving in the future, when you're moving with God, you're completely walking by faith. So that being said, you are completely naked going forward with your life. But you have to think, man, to be the best. Why do you think these motherfuckers have all these businesses? Think of business CEOs and things of that nature, right? They're taking risks to make jobs for the community. Not everybody can do that. You know what I'm saying? But that's you going by faith, right? Walking by faith and not by sight. People who walk by faith get bigger prizes. Stupid people win stupid prizes. You know what I'm saying? Where Pete was cool with being regular, mediocre. He was cool with that as long as this motherfucker had his weed, had a couple bitches to fuck on, and an occasional social life. This nigga was cool. You know what I'm saying? Versus the high schooler, he had dreams, he had admirations, he had goals, he had shit. But the thing is, he was caught up, right? Because, players fuck up. Players fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Where you can get caught in the illusion of, quote unquote, Pete here, the illusion that this individual that got it like that, but really ain't got it like that. You know what I'm saying? This individual is more living off of you. Because why? Because you have to understand here. You know what Pete and this high schooler could have been? Because, they could have been, if it was properly done right, and Pete decided to go the road less traveled. right? Let's say he went and decided to go chase his destiny. Let's say he went to try to make a change in his life. Let's say he did, right? Them two boys would have been twin flames. And what is a twin flame, right? This is not something sexual. Don't make it into the world. Two men can be twins, brodies, bromances, things of that nature, right? Not everybody's fucking on each other, right? So both of them boys would be twins. Why? Because Pete sees who he could have been within this boy, and this boy sees where he would be going within Pete. Let me say that shit again for the people in the back. Pete sees who he could have been, and this boy sees where he's heading looking at Pete. Those are twins right there. You know what I'm saying? And it would have been that. But the thing is, Pete decided to be a carpet. Pete decided to stay where it was comfortable. Pete decided to waste his life away. Versus that high schooler, which he was the divine feminine in this case, that's what that would be. This is not that type of reading, but it's coming up, right? He decided to elevate. He decided to, man, I love myself enough to even cure my vices here, right? I'm gonna have to pour love on them motherfuckers to be able to do that, you know, where he decided to cut that cord. Even though there was that deep bond between these two men, this guy, I guess these kids, where it's a real deep bromance, not on no gay shit, just a real, you're my dog, you know, where Pete looked at him as like a little brother. He looked at the other way around type of shit, right? Where the high schooler knew this is, I keep fucking with him, I'm a lead in that direction. Pete was living through him. Because Pete didn't have the courage. Pete didn't have the balls to go create his life. Let me say that shit again. He didn't have the courage. He didn't have the balls to go create the life that he wanted. He decided to settle for what is in front of him. In this case, he was fucking bitches to have a house, a home, a shelter, roof to stay at. Because he ain't had shit in his name. He didn't own shit. He didn't own shit. He couldn't keep things. Right? So what do you do? Let me fuck with her. I get to stay with her. Couchy. Right? Right? But like I'm saying, there's a moment in your life where there's going to have to be a means to an end. There's going to have to be in a moment in your life, you're going to have to be like, there's enough. Enough is enough. There's going to have to be a moment in your life where you're going to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. There's going to have to be a moment in your life where you're going to have to pour some love on your vices, on your behavior. You're going to have to be able to control yourself. You're going to have to be able to sacrifice things, because those who go far sacrifice what makes them feel good. They detach from the dopamine. Right? Facts. So, there was this particular thing that David Goggins talked about at the end of the book of Can't Hurt Me. Check that book out. Fucking amazing book, I'm telling you. You want to put yourself through physical pain, and you're like, what do you mean, Jay? Physical pain, and watch how the body and how the mind can control the body and put the body in check, right? Listen to that book and then go start working out. Listen to that book and start working out. You know what I'm saying? Or read it or whatever. But anyways, there's a particular phrase within the book he talked about at the end of the book about how he pictured God in his lens, where it was brilliant, a perfect imagery of how to end this book and how to look at your life. He said he thought about how the moment that he dies, everybody dies, right? God has a checklist, right? And this checklist has everybody's name on it, right? And everybody's waiting in line to it's kind of like a job interview, waiting in line to speak to God. So his name he gets called. Now his name's in the front. Time to get called to sit down with God. 2 chairs, one for God, one for, in this case, us, right? And God has your credentials, right? This would be your fucking resume, right? Everything that you've done on your resume. God's reading it. I've seen you've done this. I've seen you done this. I've seen you done this, right? But also God has the things within your life, what you were supposed to do, right? Let's say you never did anything. You were living life like Pete. This is that type of energy. Let's say Pete goes up there, sits with God. He's not here no more. God tells him, you're supposed to be, I don't know, an influencer. You were supposed to touch people. You were supposed to open a billion or open a business that created jobs for the community. Let's say you were supposed to be a CEO of this company and have billions of dollars, right? You were supposed to lead this foundation or create this foundation that helps this type of person or and builds this type of community, right? This is like God telling you what you were supposed to be, right? And that's the number one thing that David Goggins talked about. The fear of not living up to God reading all the stuff you were supposed to be. Right? So this is that type of energy as you are here right now. That's why it's so important to not be in fear. Think of that. When you die, what do you want God to tell you? That you surpassed everything that that God kind of predicted that was going to happen? What you was going to live? Or underlive that? Or not even reach your goals, the things that was expected of you? Right? So this is that type of energy. Okay, we're going to wrap up here. But it's a powerful message. And thank you, God, for that example of that movie. I wish I knew the name, y'all, because, I mean, if you could see the movie and understand what I'm talking about, you would see it for what it is, and it will paint this perfect image in your mind about this guy, this grown-ass man, and this high schooler, right? It shows a split mirror reflection of how both of them are the same but different, you know, where you have a choice right now to pour love on your situation so you can pull yourself out of your situation, because no one is coming to save you. I'm sorry, your God's not coming to save you. No. The preacher man ain't coming to save you. Your government's not coming to save you. You know, your mama, your daddy ain't coming to save you. No, not out of this one. You know what I'm saying? This is that one where the number one thing with God is wants to reveal to you that you can save yourself. That's the goal. Really think about it. When God puts you in adversity and it be fucked up, it be real fucked up, you know. And it's like you can't hear God. When you feel like you're isolated and the connection is off, God's trying to show you that you got the ability to save yourself. God gives you the keys. God gives you the tools to maneuver through your adversity. But as you're going through these, I guess, what would you say? The valley of the shadow of death, right? Is that what it's called? Yeah. It's kind of like landmines where you're going to have to, oh shit, that's over there. You're going to have to bob and weave because these landmines are shit to get you trapped. To get you trapped. There's a lot of traps out here in the world that's wanting to trap your ass because you were divine and you got shit going for your fucking life, despite if you think so right now or not. If shit is in the process of trying to tempt you, these traps are trying to lock you down. You got some mad power. You got some mad ability. You got some mad shit on your life. Don't waste your life like Pete did. Where at the end of the movie, you looking at your fucking reflection, your higher self looking at you in the rearview mirror with your motherfucking Burger King hat on. You know? All right. I think I'm going to leave it there. Remember, all readings are not for all. They're for some. Take what you need and leave the rest. As well as we got that slot open for personal readings. If you feel guided or interested in purchasing one of those, you know what to do. DM me. We can get you set up. Come fuck with your girl, okay? Drop a comment down below. Let it hear from you guys and start the discussion. As well as let's go share these vids, man. Let's get this divine knowledge out here for the collective because there's mad fucking jewels over here that motherfuckers need, right? Because that was a fire ass message. Go and share these vids, man. Let's get this divine knowledge out here for the collective so we all can get on one accord. Remember the Pete in the high schooler when you want to slack off on your shit, right? Just think about that to close for the closing message. Think about Pete in his Burger King uniform. I know, man. I felt that shit. Think about Pete in his Burger King uniform when you want to sleep in. When you don't want to get up and get your shit together. When you want to chill with the bros knowing damn well you should be clocking in because you need to get to where you got to go. Right? You got shit you got to make. Think of Pete in his Burger King uniform. Right? Sitting on the curb. Looking homeless, looking lost, looking in the past, right? Why your higher self, your future self, looking at your motherfucking ass in the rear view. So my question for you to end this reading, who are you? Are you Pete? Are you high school? Right? Right. Have a good night, y'all, and bye.